Hello, good morning. This is a video log entry 61 and currently it is 9 a.m. CST. Yes, so, yeah, I had quite a bit yesterday. Well, not quite a bit. I had my FedEx package wasn't picked up because of the fact that they never called me, and they called me at around 10:30 because they were wondering what was going on with that. I guess they had an update. And the call center, or the guess, whatever, like the headquarters for that particular location called me, and they asked me what was going on with that, and I was like, well, nobody, I don't know. Anyways, they told me to just leave the package down over at the lobby, like 20 or 30 minutes beforehand and whatnot, so I'll probably be doing that soon, since it's getting close to 10 again. I don't know what time they come in, though. Like, it's kind of weird just leaving it at the lobby there, especially with how expensive the equipment is and whatnot. Whatever. I mean, it's not like anybody's going to grab it in the lobby anyways, so, but it would be nice if they just called me, because it would be easier that way, and I'll know it's gone, and then I'll actually know that they actually went to the right place, as opposed to leaving down there and having to worry about it the whole time, but whatever. Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't really do much. I told myself I was going to apply for jobs yesterday. I only applied for one position, and, you know, it was just for another park position. I constantly look at the park district because, again, like I said, like, be on my feet. Yeah, so it is what it is, and, you know, I'm probably going to apply some more. I didn't do any of that this morning. I was kind of, like, just doing my own thing. You know, I'm not in a huge rush. So, and I've been scouring the internet still, and I haven't been looking at it. I haven't found anything that was that interesting, so I'm just going to keep looking, and, I'm just going to keep looking. That's all I can do. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know, I've been feeling pretty good. Let's see here, I don't know, I haven't been writing that many notes and whatnot, but, I don't know what I was writing down here. I guess I was looking at New Year's resolutions. This is like a 3-month-old New Year's. Well, I'm 2 months late, right? Is that right? Did I do the math right? Yeah. Almost 3 months, but whatever. So just a bunch of like random stuff that I want to improve on for this year, which I should have done earlier, you know. But I'm thinking about it now. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the year, I was more concerned about actually instilling habits that would, you know, improve my situation that I'm in as of now. Again, like I said, I'm feeling damn good. I'm feeling pretty good. I just need to prepare for myself for another job interview. You know, that warehouse position that I kept saying, and everybody I talk to, they tell me to follow up, and I've considered it, and I don't think it's the right position for me. It's a warehouse, right? It's probably not going to be again, the pay is good and it's unionized and whatnot, and I could probably transfer it, so I think I'm going to keep looking at it, just to see like what the actual warehouse looks like and whatnot, and maybe I can sneak around and see what the conditions are like and whatnot. I mean, again, I don't think it's bad because they seem like they care about their workers and whatnot, so that's a good thing. And I need money, or I need money. So, yeah, and also I guess, just 3 days ago. Wait a second. Yeah, 3 days ago was my dad's birthday, March 18th. And, so yeah, I talked to him, I told him happy birthday and whatnot, and, they went to Opus 9 with my brother. My brother came in because he's like an hour away from where my family lives as of now. He's currently living with a couple of his friends and sharing a house or something like that. So he's getting like a discounted, rate, which is nice. I was never in a position like that because, again, I didn't really know of anybody that I could do that with, but look, good for him. So yeah, I mean, he called me, and yeah, he's into computer stuff, so he does talk to me about that kind of stuff sometimes. And I guess most recently, he wanted to download this Linux operating system called Tails, which is cool, I guess. It's meant for quote unquote like hackers. I guess Edward Snowden used the operating system because during his time in Russia and running away from, was he in the CIA or something? I think he was in the CIA. And they were trying to find him. So he used Tails to basically erase any kind of digital footprint including the computer he was using at that time. So he had it on a USB, and the USB instantly wiped the RAM, and it did not store any data into the hard disk. Obviously, all the data was stored in whatever size USB he may have had, and he probably didn't need that much storage and whatnot. So that was kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that was the thing. My brother likes that kind of stuff. He's kind of weird, but he's more into web development. So like, I guess he's trying to find ways to connect with me because he knows I kind of like Linux and operating system stuff and low-level programming. And I was also kind of, I'm not a hacker, obviously, but I think some of the concepts involved in, reverse engineering, and, George Hotz talks about a lot. He used to be in, he used to do CTFs, and, he jailbroke the iPhone and whatnot, so that's kind of cool looking, smart people do those kinds of things and whatnot. And now I guess he's working on Comet AI, which is I think he developed a neural network for that. I don't know exactly, but due to his prior history with reverse engineering, he was able to look at basically reverse engineer computers inside cars to then get a small portable Linux operating system to then connect with it. What would you call it? The computer that actually controls the steering control and whatnot to then, it also has a camera on the tablet, whatever. It's a tablet or something. It's some portable piece of electronics. So so there was a camera for it, so it would communicate. The neural network would communicate with the. So actually, this is all pre-learning, I guess. I don't know. There's like a specific word that they use, but basically the neural network took a lot of image data from a bunch of people who are actually supporting it. So they actually have these Comet AI portable pieces of electronics. Or why can't I think of the right name? I don't know what to call it. It looks like a tablet. I don't know what the right name, but there's probably a better name for it. But so it's basically live manipulating its output due to all the input is taken in from thousands of different Comet AI nodes, basically live, and it's getting better and better due to the fact that there are so many people supporting it now. So it's there's a nice compounding effect to it and whatnot. So if anybody knows anything about neural networks and whatnot, obviously the more data the better, obviously. So and the weights tend to it's all linear algebra and calculus. So I don't really know the complete theory behind it. I know of the fundamental understanding of mathematics to understand, most of it if I wanted to. My dad tried to get me to, start studying AI and whatnot. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be interesting, but it's also kind of saturated. I knew about AI even a little bit before DeepMind came out because I tend to hear about those things because I was in the math and physics realm, and if you're into that kind of stuff, you tend to hear about things a little bit earlier before something more practical comes out. So the theory behind it, I knew about. Was just I could have jumped on the bandwagon earlier before it became saturated, but I was a little bit apprehensive, and I was more into physics back then. I didn't know about computers as much as I do now, and I know a lot about them much more. So I could still try to, but I think it's kind of, again, it's saturated, right? It's kind of like the web development realm. My brother's actually pretty good at web development, but he's having a lot of trouble finding a job, even as a junior developer, because of the fact that, Facebook had some issues, and now you're getting a lot of senior developers that are saturating the market, kind of gatekeeping juniors to get into the market to get some kind of experience in the actual world. So it's kind of hard as of now. It's clear that my brother is having trouble. He had one job offer that he could have accepted, but I don't know what happened. I think they were trying to drug test him, and so he denied it. And I heard that the pay was pretty good for him, but he denied it because he had to be drug tested, and he's a little bit he smokes a lot, so which I can tell kind of like damaged his brain a little bit because he does his recall speed is not as fast as I think that is all the smoke he has done is dampen his recall speed. You can tell he has a little bit of trouble speaking, but yeah, I can tell he's he knows his shit. It's just that it takes a while to actually share the information with me, but it's fine. I tried smoking I used to drink a lot, but then I just dropped it because of this thing that I did. I was like, I can't really, I just can't bring those habits into the space I'm in right now. It's just, it would not work out. I'd probably be on the streets if I did that. Just based on the current situation I'm in. I need this brain of mine right now. So, yeah, anyways, so, yeah, I don't know, I've just been letting my head wander. I'm not really, I'm kind of laying off on job applications for now because I feel like there's a lot of processing going in the back of my mind that I'm not completely seeing. So, I mean, sometimes stuff kind of surfaces into my consciousness and whatnot, but man, my head is just constantly running. It's on fire all the time, and I'm just tired and lethargic. So I'm giving myself some time to let it, let that, whatever it's processing, actually go through. So yeah, FedEx, I'm going to bring the box down in a little bit, and, I have a haircut. I think I have, what other obligations? I think that's really all the obligations that I have for this week. So I need to start making new obligations other than I have standard daily routines that I do, like taking cold showers and applying to positions, like I've always said. I still have this walking around the city to talk to a bunch of people for jobs and whatnot. But I don't really need that. And I also still haven't purchased those books that I was talking about, which I should have done, but been slacking off on that. But I may just do that during the weekend. I was supposed to do that last weekend. I just didn't do it. It was cold and I didn't feel like going outside because of the weather. And I also had the St. Patty's Day thing going on, and Saturday. What was, I don't remember what I did Saturday, but whatever. So things are looking up. I'm feeling good. I think that, anyways, I've said that so many times already. I'm just letting sometimes I like to just let my head sit for a second to see if there's anything else that pops up. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could kind of share some other things, because I've been looking to spirituality a little bit more. Not like Rudolf Steiner, just consuming random information, really, anything pertaining to spirituality, keep myself in a decent mood. It's weird, I'm a little bit skeptical about some of the things, but how those people who tend to prophesize and also read spiritual energy coming from the fifth dimension, some crazy stuff like that, and I'm skeptical towards it, but it also it instills this perspective of mine, and I don't want to put my head in front of everything now, because that's what I'm trying to do, is to not let my ego get in the way of certain things that could be true. You never know, right? I'm open to it now. And it's weird because I was looking at a random video, and this girl that was reading spiritual energy, they call her Infinity or whatever, and so she said that, I don't know, sometimes she's vague, and then she also called my name out, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And mostly everything that she said was right about when she called my name out. And it was mainly just pertaining to, what was it? What did she say? It was just weird. I don't know. Again, it was kind of vague. So you can say, and James is also a common name, but I'm still being very skeptical about it. But it is weird, because it was around the time in which I was doing those things, because she was talking about having a sacred space and leaving time for yourself to process information, which is, I can tell my brain is processing a lot of things. And she said it was like a computer that's, having an update or whatever. And that is oh shit, that's weird, because I really like computers and whatnot. And I do think of my brain as a computer all the time. I think of it as a framework system to cleanly input information and have some kind of output, or if that output needs to stay in my brain, then I'll keep it and whatnot. So I do see myself as a computer. My brain is a computer, So that was weird. I was like, oh shit. She even it's almost like she understands the paradigm in which I think of these things. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. And it was just 22 hours ago at this point, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. But James, a guy that likes computers, that's also going through all these things, is that kind of lines up almost. It doesn't seem like a coincidence. And again, I want to not see it that way. And then I looked at another video that she just released 5 or 6 hours ago, and she didn't have a name involved with it, but she was talking about the as a child who was somewhat creative, you have trouble conforming with society and the educational system and whatnot. And I did have a lot of trouble with that, and that suppressed my kid. And she basically went through that whole narrative of my childhood and what I'm experiencing now and what I'm trying to do now. And then also the fact that she also talked about like taking my head out of the way and, you know, letting my heart guide me. What they call the embracing the red mother, the wild red mother. Is it the wild red mother or something? 36. I don't know. Some kind of symbolic meaning behind it that people tend to use and whatnot in spirituality. I don't know. I'm just looking at a bunch of random esoteric stuff because it seems interesting, and it keeps me positive, and I feel pretty good. So that's all that really matters, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting stuff, and you know, and the symbolism behind the wild red mother is also too like if you think of something that seems ridiculous that you want to approach that may not seem completely logical, you should do it anyways, right? And I was just recently thinking about that too. It was like, I don't know, people always tell me I'm a pretty, like, I can be funny without really thinking about being funny, if that kind of makes sense. Like, my personality, my being tends to be a little bit quirky and unnatural, so people tend to, like, laugh. I don't know if it's, like, laughing at me, but I can also kind of put myself into that space of being quirky and funny and whatnot. And I'm a little bit more serious now, but, you know, I can see that because I consider myself to be a decently funny person as long as I don't put too much thought to it. Because I feel like when you put too much thought to it, you're not really as funny as you think you are. You know, at least I tried doing that, and it didn't seem like I was that funny. And I forcefully tried to, you know, put thought processes because I would analyze a lot of people, and I used to kind of like put them into these categories to see what they would think that is funny, and I would try to push that certain narrative to make it seem like I'm a funny person. Most of the time, I'd fall flat on my face, so that didn't work out much. Anyways, whatever. I think I'm done. It's been about 17 minutes. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.